Guys, who is the co-main event for Ronda and Gina? I got it. Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez has got to be considered the hottest free agent on the market. By the way, who would Cain fight? You want to know the fight that got away? I mean, when you look back over time and you think about the dream fights that got away, I often hear Anderson, John Jones. I often hear Anderson, George St. Pierre. You want to know one that got away? Cain Velasquez, Stipe Miocic. And I have no idea how. I thought I had forgot something. Those guys must have been in line, and maybe there was an injury and I'm forgetting about it. And I got a really good memory. I just don't forget these things. It was to the point I called Stipe. Go, hey, by the way, how did this not happen? What is the back story on this? You end up in a feud with Kane's guy in Daniel. How did it never come to you and Kane? And he said, well, you know what? We were actually on a course for each other, but Verdum got in the way. I was the number one contender to take on Kane as soon as he gets done with Verdum. You know, Kane was a big favorite in the Verdum fight. It was kind of a dismissed. They did it in Mexico City, the whole thing. It was just big night for Kane. Verdum got in the way. So Verdum comes out with the belt. Stipe sticks to his course, which is his number one contender, but he cashes that ticket in against Verdum. There's no Kane. Great. I don't know that you're going to get Stipe off the shelf. Food for thought is that matchup. There's plenty of other ways that you can go. But I'm so curious what they do plan to do. And I know that Jake has a plan. I know that he does. Ronda Carano didn't quite get the bump that I think it was expected. I can tell you over here at Bad Guy Inc., you guys weren't that into it. And there's ways that you could build, right? Like sometimes the promoter's got to work. Sometimes one gets dropped in his lap. You got a feud. You got Colby versus Masvidal. They got in a street fight and it's documented and here we go. Like sometimes one falls in your lap. And other times you got to work for it. But I can just assure you, having worked with MVP, understanding MVP, they do have a plan to roll out some other surprises. I don't know that you could have a bigger surprise that the audience is going to be more supportive of just on principle, that we want to do something for this guy. Not to mention we love him. He's one of the legends, if not the scariest guy in the history of the sport. Cain Velasquez. There's your answer. Now, you don't have a ton of bodies for him. You don't. You got Gable Steveson. You don't have a ton of bodies for Kane. You really don't. You have Francis Ngannou. And where do you go? Now, I was having a little debate over here at Bad Guy Inc. before we turned the cameras on, and how badly people wanted to see Kane versus Francis. That fight actually happened. It wasn't a pay-per-view. It wasn't a title. It was kind of an in-between. It was a transitional fight. Kane's knee went out. You guys might not remember, but I had to remember the crew. I had to remind the crew over here who even challenged me and went and looked it up on the internet before they conceded to me. So I'm only sharing for you. Francis is very unlikely, but we're just throwing names out. And I feel there's something there. I feel that somebody needs to get a hold of Kane. And I don't know what Kane wants to do. I did reach out to Kane's side out of curiosity. Hey, is he looking to compete again? And it was a little bit unknown. I can remember when Mike Tyson got out of prison. He drew right into Peter McNeely. You guys remember that? And they didn't quite know what to do with Mike. Is the crowd going to be behind him? Is the crowd going to be resistant? Who wants to get in there with him? It was one of these things. And there is historically, right? A guy's sitting around, guy's on vacation, guy's retired, he comes back, he's got ring rust, he's not the same, and you dismiss him. Well, historically, a lot of dudes have gotten out of prison and been better at fighting. Mike Tyson went on a run coming out of prison. He came out of, and what he declared the best shape of his life. So I just think it's very interesting. I know that Jake Paul has got an ace. I know that he does. I know that when I tell you that the Ronda Carano did not make SportsCenter the way that it was hoped, he's aware. And he's sleeping just fine at night. He's got a plan. I don't know what it is. But I would like to submit and suggest at a minimum that when you're looking for that co-main spot, I think consider Cain Velasquez.